Today is the results day and I sincerely hope that all of you pass. If you're unsuccessful, in this video I'll help you interpret your transcript and understand why you didn't pass, what your AO grades look like, and how you can prepare for the next attempt. First step, access this website and download your transcript. Day 1 simply says pass or fail, but they do release automatic feedback report a few weeks later that gives you the breakdown as to why you didn't pass. I'll make a separate video on it a little later. In this video, I'll focus on days 2 and 3. You see all these levels, and in one or more, it will say fail. Before I go any deeper, if you don't know how CFE is graded, make sure to watch my other video, The Ultimate Guide to CFE, to understand the basics of CFE passing profile, as in this video, I skip the basics and teach how to interpret and understand your results. Level 4 is by far the easiest one to understand, so I'll start with that. In combined days 2 and 3, they're looking for you to score at least 2 RCs in every area. You would not pass level 4 if you got only NC or NA in any one area. For example, this is what your transcript would look like if you didn't pass level 4 finance section. This shows day 2 and all the AOs. And then it shows day 3 and all the AOs. This is just a sample, but this is how many AOs days 2 and 3 have. I also combined the competencies together in day 3 for ease of reference. In reality, it's shuffled across the 3 cases, but again, the number of AOs is still the same. You can see the writer did phenomenal. There are many C's everywhere, but because the finance area is all NCs, this student would not pass days 2 and 3 at level 4. It's important to note that this transcript assumes that their role is not finance, because if they are writing finance as their role, they will still clear level 4 because it's driven by both days 2 and 3. Here's another example. In this one, the student got 1 RC and 2 NCs in strategy. We need at least 2 RCs in all areas to pass, so because the student does not have at least 2 RCs, they would not pass level 4. If your transcript looks like this, my advice for you is to focus on day 3 and to study secondary technicals, which are the ones not related to your role, or FR or MA. Now let's look at level 3. It's driven by day 2 only. There are 7 AOs for your role. Out of 7 AOs, we're targeting to get 4 to 5 Cs. The reason I say 4 to 5 is that in some CPAs, I've seen students pass with just 4 Cs, and in others, they needed 5 Cs to pass. So this 4 to 5 is the average range. If you didn't pass level 3, this is what your transcript would look like. As you can see, there are a lot of C's. No issues with level 4 because all areas have a lot of C's. But looking at the day 2 role section, you'll see there are only 2 C's and rest are RC's. This is too little for level 3, so for this reason, the student would pass everything else but not level 3. The C's they got in day 3 would not be helpful for level 3, as level 3 is driven by day 2 only. My advice for students in this profile is to study their role technicals really well. It helps to redo your elective cases too, so make sure to practice those for your next attempt. Now let's look at level 2. In combined days 2 and 3, they're looking for you to score at least 3 to 5 C's in FR or MA. It's important to note that it's one or the other, it's not both of them. Here's a sample transcript. You can see that in both the FR and MA sections, it's mostly RC's and 2 C's in each. This would result in passing all levels but not passing level 2 because there are not enough C's in FR or MA. In this example, the student would pass level 4 because there are lots of C's everywhere, and they would pass level 3 because they have several C's in their role. However, they would not pass level 2. Finally, let's look at level 1. This is the one that confuses the students the most. This measures how many RC's and C's you got in both CFE days 2 and 3, and it also has a decile ranking. A decile ranking closer to 0 means you were close to passing, while closer to 10 means you were far from passing. If you didn't pass level 1 and your decile is quite low, let's say 1, 2, or 3, this is how your profile would look like. This student would pass level 4 because all second areas have at least 2 RCs. For example, you'll see that assurance has 2 C's, tax has 3 RCs, FR has many C's, finance has 2 C's, MA has several C's, and strategy has 1 RC and 1 C. The student would pass level 3 because in the role section they have 5 C's. They would also pass level 2 because in the FR section they have 4 C's out of 6 available AOs. However, as you will notice, there are many NCs. Because there are a number of NCs, this affects level 1 and the student would pass everything else but not level 1. Now let's say the decile ranking is quite high. Let's say it's 6, 7, or 8. It's rare for a student to be in this case where they pass everything but not level 1 at a really high decile ranking, but it can happen. And when it does happen, this is what the transcript would look like. Level 4 is clear because every secondary area has at least 2 RCs. Level 3 is also clear because there are 4 solid Cs. Level 2 is also clear because there are 3 Cs in FR and MA. Unfortunately, everything else is mostly NC. This would really bring down the level 1 ranking. The student would pass all levels but not level 1. If you're in this profile, that means you're skipping AOs. You know some AOs really well, but others you just don't know at all. My advice is to work on time management and reviewing the complex technicals. All these samples I've shown you are just samples. If you want to know what your specific AO grades really look like, you can purchase the PAR report from CPA Canada. It will not tell you the grades per AO like I've done in here, but it will give you feedback and you can assess whether you got RC or NC based on the feedback they've given you. I hope this video helps to clear your doubts and you know now what to focus on for your next attempt. If you're unsuccessful and you are planning to write your next CFE, don't do it alone. Check out GeworkCPA.com where we provide high quality study notes, cases, and review courses. On average, 90% of my students successfully pass the CFE and become Canadian CPAs. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.